Hello, everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining this and to know about the Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics. I am Sudhir. I'll take you to the highlights of the Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics, which is in the JP University of IT in Vaknagar, Solan, Himachal Pradesh. The contents of my presentation will be, I'll tell you about what is the vision and mission of the department, what are the academic programs and the main features of the department, what academic programs and curricula and flexibility we have for our students. And I would like to also tell you the student exchange program that we have in the department with US universities and about the faculty of the department, what research we are doing and the patents granted and filed to the department, how many labs and what type of labs we have for teaching and research. And also I would like to tell you that out of all these things, then when the student go out after BTech, MSc or MTech, what they do. So that is outcome-based education. And then the efforts of the department towards consultancy and research, and also honorable governor visit to the department and the university, which is also the chancellor of our university. And at the last, I'll tell you that the unique feature of our university having 30 to 35% of fee concession for special categories of students. And then at last, I'll tell you the future plans of our department. Participants, it is very important to have a vision and mission of any task. In the same manner, the vision of our department is to create innovation and creativity among the students. And this vision can only be achieved with certain aims. So the mission is like you have to have a research-based education. So that is our mission one. If you have research-based education, then you can create innovative minds and creative mind. And also that is not possible unless or until you have a very focused teaching learning processes, which is our mission too. And whatever you achieve in biotechnology and bioinformatics, and for that matter in any other field, it should be sustainable. So human capital for sustainable social relevance is very, very important. Whatever you use, whatever you do, that should be very wisely done. And that is our mission 3 of the department. Participants, this department having these academic programs, we have BTech Bioinformatics, and that started in July 2002. I would like to highlight this, that we in the department, in this university, this is one of the oldest program in the country, which is having BTech Bioinformatics. You can go through, very few universities offer BTech Bioinformatics, and since 2002, we are running this program very successfully. And subsequently in 2005, we added another program that is BTech in Biotechnology. And also we have PhD in Biotechnology and Bioinformatics. And we take the students through an entrance test, and also we select the student, those who have qualified GATE and CSIR, depending upon the number of students. So that is 6 to 10 per year. And that program we started in July 2005. We also have MTech Biotechnology, and total seats are 18. This is a 2-year program. And MSc Bioinformatics and MSc Biotechnology program is our recent program, and we have started this program in 2018. And from 2020, the good news is our department got a support from Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, that is GAT-B seats, Graduate Aptitude Test in Biotechnology. And you can see the link on this slide. So the test will be conducted by DBT, that is at a national level, and 18th June is the last date, and 30th June is the date of the test. So it is a national level test, and we have 10 seats for that. This is a fully sponsored program of DBT. So those who are interested, those who have their BSc final year, they should go to this website as soon as possible, apply, because 18th June is the last date for application. My dear participants, as I feel that most of you know about what is biotechnology and bioinformatics, but still those who are beginners, let me introduce about these two scientific fields in a brief note. So what is a biotechnology? Let me take you to the history of this beautiful science. We all know the process of fermentation, that is preparation of tasty bread and wine and other beverages. And we also know since ages that animal breeding program to get better meat yielding or milk yielding animals. So this is the root of the biotechnology. And also you are all aware about the beautiful experiment of Mendel, that is creating a lot of hybrid varieties started from pea and then with other plants. So that is the root of the biotechnology. But my dear participants, the biotechnology science grew further by the invention of the microscope. When the microscope was discovered, we could see germs, we could see microorganisms, and then their association with diseases. And when their association of the diseases came into picture, then the natural question was how to get rid of these diseases. And then a science of microbial biotechnology came into existence. And you all know the first vaccine developed against a very deadly disease, that is smallpox. So at that time, we developed a vaccine to combat smallpox. And today we are also looking for a vaccine for a new enemy, that is a coronavirus. So participants, by the invention of these techniques, biotechnology grew further. And by the World War II, when the troops were requiring a lot of acetone and butane and industries were not able to produce that much, microorganisms were explored further and the acetone and butane production was done. That was again a milestone in the history of the science of biotechnology. But let me tell you, the game-changing event in the biotechnology came into existence in 1953 with a beautiful model of Watson and Crick in 1953, that is a DNA structure. So a whole set of modern biotechnology, a molecular biotechnology came into existence, and the people, when they knew that we have DNA, which is a common in most of the all of the microorganisms, but sequence is different, then there was a rush. There was a rush to get genetic code for that. And then the development of these molecular techniques came into picture. And my dear participants, 70s were the period when we got a beautiful recombinant product from the medical biotechnology, that is human insulin produced in a microbial cell. And you know, at that time, the Genentech company, the stock value, the share value of these particular products, insulin, human insulin, that was having the maximum, it grew in leaps and bounds. So that was a power of the biotechnology when it entered in the medical biotechnology field. And you all know in 1990s and 2000, when the Human Genome Project came into existence, and there was a total sequencing of the human genes were done, that was again a science which grew further. And now in this century, we have sky is the limit in the biotechnology. Like we look for stem cell research, we look for vaccination, we look for diagnostic techniques, and not even that, we look for a biotechnology application in the food processing industries, in environmental progress also. And now latest news is scientists are doing the experiments on the microorganisms under microgravity conditions, so that what is the application of the microorganisms in space. So if you go through the history of the biotechnology, this is an era of biology. Participants, I'm telling you, we all are looking, all countries are looking for the vaccine to combat this coronavirus and COVID-19 pandemic. So here is the power of the biotechnology. My dear participants, the other program in the department, we have bioinformatics. What is bioinformatics? As I came to know from many of our past students and also from my friends, that it is comparatively less awareness about this field. So let me take you about what is bioinformatics. To understand this bioinformatics, let us first of all, I'll tell you about the human system. You know, we all want to have a happy life. We all want to have disease-free environment. We all want to have that we should not have any diseases. So in the human system, my participants, we have 4 macromolecules, and everyone should understand that: carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. And you all know maybe you have a background of biology. Nucleic acids are something that pass on the information from parents to the next generations, and also they synthesize proteins. And proteins, they have a very important structural and regulatory role in the human body. And your lipids, which is a source of energy, oil, and then they also have a role in regulatory mechanisms and structural integrity of the cell, along with the carbohydrates, which have a cell membrane component, protective role, and a source of energy for all of us. Participants, now, before I tell you the exact bioinformatics, what it is, I'll give you another example. We all know the disease of malaria, which is actually spreading all over this particular Asia, African continents, and millions of people die, and millions of people, they suffer from malaria. And you know what is the cause of this? Plasmodium. This plasmodium have a lot of proteins, actually, that interact with the proteins of the human body, and not one or two proteins, scores of proteins in the human body. And this interaction actually manifest into a particular disease. So what we need to understand, bioinformatics, if an experimental biotechnologist wants to do an experiment with a particular product, मान लीजिए आपने बोला ये कोई plant extract है, इसको use करेंगे तो malaria cure होगा. What I want to tell you, that if you have a lead molecule with you, you want to test that lead molecule towards that protein which is there in the human system, experimental biotechnologists, they need to have a lot of tests, and it is not possible at all. So bioinformaticians, what they will do, they will try to dock that protein with the protein of the human system. So that is called the interaction, which is in silico, which is in computer. So that binding of that protein of the infectious agent and proteins which is there in the human system, you can minimize the trials. You can give a very important information to the experimental biotechnologists. So a bioinformatician is actually a computer scientist. I'll say the bioinformatician is actually a computational biologist that play with the biological data. They develop the prediction model, which is very helpful for the biotechnologists to go for the experimental trials. So this is a beautiful field where there is a combination of biology, computer, mathematics, and statistical tools. An excellent field, a very good field, and having great demand all through world. So this is about brief about biotechnology and bioinformatics. And now, this department was established in 2002. Let me tell you in brief, what are the highlights of our department. All faculty members, we are 70 in the family, all are PhD, and many of us like postdoctorate also. And our program, you know, these are the benchmarks. The programs in the department, they have been accredited by NAC and NBA, not once, but twice, and now we are looking for, third time we are looking for NBA accreditation. So this is a benchmark of any program in a department. Participants, we have a very active MOU with US universities. One is South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. Another one is University of Nebraska at Omaha. And then we also have MOU with Russia and many other national and international organizations. And we do student exchange program with the 2 US universities that I'll tell you in the next slides. Participants, any department only grow when they have a lot of funded projects, not from the university, not from their own resources, but from the government agencies. That is approval of your strength. That is approval of your program. So we have a very important major grant in the form of DST FIST, which is an infrastructural support given by DST to the department. And we also have a DBT Center of Excellence in the medicinal plants. We are in a zone of very high biodiversity of medicinal plants. So DBT Center of Excellence was given to us. And a very good news, in 2020 this year, the DBT has given us skill development project along with the Himachal Government Science Association. So through this student is BSc final year student, I would like to tell you that in this project, those who have been graduated in biology or in any other field also, they can join the skill development program in our university. They have a fellowship. We are going to give fellowship 5,000 per month, and they will learn the quality control biologist and about lab technician courses so that they can have good employment. And also, as I told you, the department got GAT B support from DBT for MSc Biotechnology for next 5 years. Department have though many quality publications actually through faculty members, but we also have 8 patents granted to the faculty members. That is again a benchmark of our research and efforts of the department, all students, PhD scholars and the faculty. And 8 patents of the department are in pipeline in the advanced state of their examination. This department, the department has been ranked top among top private biotech schools by many agencies like Able and BioSpectrum. And it was a continuous process from 2010 to 2020. And in 2018, we actually in Himachal, we are doing a project in the biogas since last 10 years. And now in 2018, the government of Jharkhand and the government of Himachal Pradesh, they have recognized the department and they have given us a technical agency tag to implement the Govardhan project in Himachal and other states. And recently, we have also started 2 centers of excellence because this university is actually in a village. We have a rural setup all around. So one center is Center of Sustainable Technologies in Rural Development. Another center is related to healthcare and biomedical informatics. Participants, if the student join our department, what he or she is actually going to get in the form of syllabus. This department and all other departments of the university, we follow the modern updated curricula of AICTE, that is 160 credits. And you know, if you only study core subject, you will not able to grow as an engineer. So we have a balance, and this balance is all through in all disciplines. Your professional core, for example, you take admission in BTech Biotechnology, your professional core may be close to 30%. But other than that, you will have a choice to have your own elective, 11%. If you feel that I would be like to have more in medical side, you can take that elective. Not even that. If you want, I am good in computer science, you can take open elective from civil engineering, computer science. And this syllabi having a very integral part of your project and research that give you depth in academics and in your program. Many of the engineers we have seen in the past that they grow and go in the management positions in the industry. So humanities, close to 8 to 10% courses of humanities will come into picture, like financial management, project management. So that will be taught to you so that you will get a complete engineering shape in these 4 years, not only humanities. You know, without physics, chemistry, and maths, there is no applied sciences. So basic sciences will be given to you along with so many engineering sciences. So this is a common syllabi for biotech and bioinformatics people. And for MTech and MSc, the total credits are 76 and 75. And more or less, we focus on the similar type of the pattern for their courses also. Now, I would like to tell you one important point. We have a very active student exchange program in the final semester of the BTech and also a final semester in the MTech, and likely to have in the MSc final year also. This program is in the final year, the student will go to University of Nebraska or SDSMT USA, and their final year project work will be done there and the credits will be transferred to JUIT. So this is a student exchange program. It's not mandatory, but we select on the basis of the interest and the CGPA of the students. Now, a very important point, and I am sure you will agree, all of you will agree with me. Biotechnology में admission ले लिया, later on आपने सोचा ये मेरा field नहीं है, मुझे bioinformatics में जाना है. You are fixed. यदि आपने ECE में admission ले लिया, आपको computer में जाना है, नहीं जा सकते थे. Today in the world of academics, you have to give, and we give academic flexibility to the students. What is this academic flexibility? Let me explain to you. A student joined the university in BTech Biotechnology, and later on he or she feels, मुझे कुछ CSC या IT में करना है. We give minor specialization to that student that is over and above 160 credits, 20 credits he or she can take from civil engineering, from electronics, from computer science, IT, or from bioinformatics. So what is a degree now? The degree is BTech in biotechnology, minor specialization in computer science. So that increases the chances of employability. Forget about employability. That is about your taste. So if you feel that you have a taste in CSE, you have taste in IT, you have taste in BI, you can design your own degree. And that is similar for bioinformatics also. You join as a BTech bioinformatics student, you can have your minor specialization, any of the field, whether it is electronics, civil, or biotechnology. Some of the students I have seen in my academic career, they actually do BTech biotechnology, but somehow they feel that I am more good in industrial biotechnology. I would like to more research in vaccination. I would like to have more in bioinformatics. For them, we have a very focused proficiencies. They can take up their electives only from these streams. So what is the degree now? You are a BTech biotechnologist. You have minor specialization in computer science. You have proficiency in medical biotechnology. So design your own degree in JUIT. That is the beauty of our course structure here in JUIT. There is no fixed structure. You design your degree. We have also option of choosing you open elective, and not even that. You are sitting in your hostel, you are at home. You can also register in MOOCs and NPTEL courses. I'm sorry, it is NPTEL. So you can have NPTEL and MOOCs courses also, for example, 10 to 12 credits, and that is added up to your degree. That is a beautiful academic flexibility given to you in JUIT, and we encourage the interdisciplinary research projects, and internship in the third year summer is mandatory for each and every student. So that is overall what I would like to tell you about the academic flexibility of our program. My dear participants, this is just a glimpse of the exchange program that we have with the various universities at USA. It's a true exchange program. You could see in your screen that Brandon and two other students, they joined JUIT and they stayed here for 6 months. They had few courses, and then our students, they went in UNO, that is University of Nebraska at Omaha, and they have their training there. And recently we have, this is a continuous process, 2017 and 2018 batch, we sent 7 students. I'm very happy to tell you, you can see on your screen a guy with the cap. He's Gorky, and along with Vagisha, both of them, they went for their last semester training program in South Dakota. All of them, they were doing good, but these two have been selected for PhD program, fully funded PhD program. And now Vagisha has been selected for a PhD program directly after BTech, and Gorky was an MTech student and selected for a PhD program. Now you can see another figure, that is 2018, 2019, our student exchange program. And out of these 6 students, 2 have been selected and they are already in USA. One is Payal, another is Priya. And again, the beauty of this program is both were BTech students, but having CGPA more than 8, and now they are doing PhD without undergoing the MS or MTech program. Because when you go to a foreign lab, they could see you working. They could see your work ethics. They could see your work skills. And they selected these 2, and now they are doing their work in South Dakota and publishing very good papers. Participants, without faculty, there is no department. So it is very important what type of faculty a department is having. I'm very happy to share with you that the family in the biotechnology and bioinformatics, we are here since many years. I am here since 2003, and most of us have, all of us have PhD, and many of us also have postdoctoral experience, PhD from many very good universities, and all have very good citation index. That is your publication profile. And I would also like to highlight you that if you see the date of joining of the faculty, most of us are here in the family more than 10 years. So many of us are from versatile field, from different universities, and postdoc from a very good universities, so that when a student joins the department, he or she see what type of faculty we have. Someone is doing work in biofuel, someone is doing in virology, plant tissue culture, pathogen biology. So by the time they come in 3rd year or 4th year, they can see what I need to do, with whom I have to do the research project, what are my goals. So participants, try to see, in one sense you have flexibility in the academic program, in the other sense you have a flexibility to choose your mentor. So that is a beautiful faculty profile of our department. These are other faculty members. They are again from IITs, from AIMS, and from even PhD from the foreign universities, postdoc from the foreign universities. All are doing research in versatile areas of research, active faculty member, and they have very good teaching and research skills. Students, as we are giving academic flexibility to the students, our university also give academic flexibility to the faculty to grow in their career. You can see the 5 names, the faculty who joined the department and after joining got sabbatical leave from the university, and this is a study leave, and from study leave they went abroad and then did their postdoc and their future research. So few examples have been given, like myself is there, Dr. Garlapati, Harvinder Singh, Dr. Dipankar, and Dr. Raghu. All of us got chance while we were working in the department. We got our study leave and went abroad for our postdoctoral studies. Any department can only grow if it has very good research focus. I'm very happy to tell you that almost all government agencies have funded this department. R&D project close to 25 crores, they have been funded in this department. You name agency like DBT, DST, ICMR. I'm very sure you know the efforts of ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, regarding this COVID-19. All the instructions which you are getting regarding the coronavirus actually is coming from ICMR. We had 8 projects from ICMR in past, and also we have a project from industry and major support from the DBT. Like I told you, DST, FIST, DBT Center of Excellence, and DBT GAT-B support. We also have collaborations with the international agencies and Indo-Russian project, with the DRDO also, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, HP State, and DBT Skill Development. In all, this department had close to 66 projects awarded since the inception 2002 to 2020. Ongoing projects are 5. Publication, faculty is publishing very good papers. Close to 950 publications are there in the faculty like profile, and all are in very good journals. And out of that 455, they are indexed in Scopus, which is again a benchmark of your journal and the publication. As I told you, this is our major R&D support program in the department. These are the 8 patents granted. What was my motive to show you this list? Through this list, I would like to tell you that there's a versatility of the authorships. If you see, in these 8 patents, there are MTech students, there are PhD students, faculty is there, but also you will be happy to note that in the patent number 8, there is a BTech student, final year student, who did this work and then a part of the patent. Patent is a benchmark, again, for any research organization. We had a patent in Picrocide 1, which is actually a medicinal plant. From that, we extract this. So this is, we focus on the medicinal plants of the Himachal. Sea buckthorn, I'm sure you must have heard about that, a very important lehberry, which is the common name of sea buckthorn. So we have patent on that also. So 8 patents are granted and 8 are in pipeline. So this is our international research collaboration. As I told you, we have with South Dakota, USA, and Omaha and Russia, and also we have with Louisiana Tech University and with Morocco. So in the field of biotechnology and bioinformatics, if you have national, international research collaborations and national research collaborations, actually it increases your visibility. The chances of the students to go abroad for postdoc studies, for student exchange, it also increases. As I told you, our faculty members, those have postdoc from outside, they have their links. So it helps us to establish the international research collaborations. And not even that, we also have our collaborators, which are the national level, very reputed organizations. If you see this, our partner is DRDO, our partner is Punjab University, PGI also, and our neighbors like CPRI, HFRI, and I would also like to tell you that GNDU, with all these, we got joint projects also, and we have industry collaborators also. Through industry collaborators, our students get opportunity to have summer training in the industries and also get opportunity for the future employment. If your faculty is good, if your research is good, but nothing is possible without the support of your good labs. So participants, we have excellent support from the JUIT management, and we have large number of UG, PG and research labs. A small picture is in front of you. You name an area in the biotechnology, we have that lab. UG Biotech, meaning of this UG Biotech mean is like, mainly these labs are engaged for teaching. And if you see the specialized labs like human genomics lab, fermentation lab, animal cell culture lab, plant cell culture lab, these are the specialized labs that we have in the biotech section, and also in the bioinformatics section, we have high-end bioinformatic project labs and other labs related to computational simulations. So our labs have a well-developed, equipped major instruments, so that when you have faculty, when you have student, when you have research, you should have instruments, you should have tools. And this is just a small partial list of the instruments that we have in our laboratories. And these instruments like PCR, you must have heard about, like this is a very important tool in the molecular biology. We have atomic absorption spectrometer and genetic analyzer and so many other instruments. So our students in BTech only, they get exposure of, hands-on exposure of all these instruments, because today you get this exposure, tomorrow you go to the industry, so that will be very, very helpful for you. And this is the infrastructure related to bioinformatics, that is computational biology. We have a good software, almost all software which is needed we have. As I told you that we have an intake of 30 students in bioinformatics, but we have systems which are 43 systems dedicated to the students and 10 very good high-end PCs and then servers also. So there is no dearth of infrastructure, there is no dearth of tools or instruments in biotechnology or bioinformatics department. I thought, let me show you a few photographs of our lab. You can see few photographs where high-end instrumentation facilities are there, some bioinformatics labs are there, some teaching lab is also there, and some plant tissue culture lab is also there. So these are a few pictures of our labs. My dear participants, student join a campus may have a very good, excellent infrastructure, may have a very good academic flexibility, a good faculty, but ultimately what they are going to achieve when they go out from JUIT. So I would like to tell you what is our outcome. This is again just probably at 20%, less than 20% of the list. Few PhD scholars that have been selected for a national postdoctorate fellowship. That is again a very, very prestigious program of the Government of India, MHRD. They did PhD in the department and then selected for a national postdoc depending upon their PhD work. And a few photographs are in front of you. All the organization which you have, which was that is there in the slide, like IMTech Chandigarh or CPRI Shimla or your Bioresource Technology Himalayan Institute in Palampur, they are among the reputed institute in science and biotechnology. And these are just again a partial list of our alumni that have, that actually they do BTech, they do MTech with us, and ultimately they qualify GRE, other exams, and they do go abroad and they study there. And also I would like to show you a small video where pictures and information of our alumni is given.
Hello, I'm Zoya N. Faruqi, and I completed my BTech in Biotechnology from JUIT in 2013. I then went on to pursue my Masters in Genetics of Human Disease from University College London in the UK, where I was also the recipient of the UCL Genetics Institute's Masters Prize Scholarship from 2013 to 2014. I've also qualified the CSIR JRF with an All India rank of 44 in the general category and in my first attempt. I'm currently pursuing PhD at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock on graduate assistantship. I'm very grateful to my institution, JUIT, for building the foundation of my career. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Nitin Arora. I am an alumni of JP University of Information Technology, batch 2018, with a bachelor's in biotechnology. And currently I'm pursuing a master's in food science and agricultural chemistry at McGill University. Merci beaucoup, which means thank you.
So apart from the alumni which are actually having their higher education, higher studies abroad, we also emphasize on the student strength in the national competitive examinations. So when the semester begins, we try to have a weekend classes for them so that we focus on some competitive examinations like NET and GATE. So this is just a past few year data from the department. Many of our students, they have qualified GATE, NET, and other tests of national and international levels. This is actually a very important data, and many students actually they have interest in what is the placement and placement profile of the department. Before I explain about what is the placement profile and the companies which are coming to the campus for the jobs, let me tell you, when a student joins us in first year, all of us have a question, मेरी placement कहाँ होगी, मेरी job कैसे लगेगी, मेरा package कितना होगा. But let me tell you, when they go in third year and fourth year, most of them, they say, I do not want to go in the placement, I would like to go for higher studies. My dear participants, biotechnology and bioinformatics is a field where you should have patience. You should have depth. You should have higher studies with you if you want to go great. In this field, you have to grow further. So many of us, you can see the red bars, many of them, it is not that they were not capable to place. They said, no, we would like to have MS from foreign universities or PhD from foreign universities, and then we will settle down in our life. So otherwise, there are many companies which are coming. I'll show you in the next slide. JUIT have a exclusive placement cell, and the Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics also have an exclusive placement officer. So in tandem with the placement officer and with the JUIT placement cell, many companies, they join our centralized placement drive. And these are few names where the companies names where the biotechnology and bioinformatics students have been placed in past. I would like to tell you one more thing. A company comes and give you a package of 3 lakh or 4 lakh. A student feel this is too less. My dear students, in this world, first of all, if you get a job between a package of 3 to 5 lakh or 5 to 6 lakh, you have to build up, you have to show your strength, you have to continuously grow. So I have seen the alumni of this department, they joined a company, and after that, now they are in a very, very senior position, and rather they are helpful for us to get our students to do summer training and for employment also. So whatever you do in the biotechnology and bioinformatics, consistency should be there. Higher studies fine, otherwise in placement also, you should have depth in that field, depth in that company, and commitment towards that company. Then you will certainly grow and grow up to maybe 20 to 40 lakh. Next slide. This is on the lighter note, I would like to tell you, our department is, as I told you, is present in the rural background, and there are 2 centers in our department. Center of Excellence. So we do consultancy in the biogas work. We also do consultancy in the agricultural side, and we also give consultancy to the farmers of Himachal Pradesh regarding the medicinal plants propagation. And we established close to 10 biogas plants in Himachal Pradesh that work on the waste food and they supply gas. That is our actually a social corporate responsibility. We give so many, we give so many trainings to the women, to the youth, of the nearby villages. And also now we are doing outside state also. And recently we have established biogas plants even in UP. So we have consultancy from Stevia Biotech firm, and the extension work continues. And there are a lot of visitors that come and see. We have 4 biogas plants in campus also, and they come and see the plant, and we advise them how to fabricate these things at their end. I'm very happy to tell you that this process continues, and the BTech students and your MTech MSc student, they have their own magazine. They have their own, you can say, a small journal or small science magazine in the name of Biochrome or Stomata. They have scientific content, and in this manner, they try to learn how to write, how to interact, and they build up confidence in writing and explaining and expression. My dear students, if anyone joins in JUIT and it is only in the JUIT, that does not actually serve the purpose. So we make sure all of our students, they go for academic visit to the institutes, to the organizations, to the universities of repute. So you can see this list that we take them to CRI, that is a Central Research Institute, which is actually making vaccine in Kasoli. We take them to Central Potato Research Institute, very, very premium organization throughout the country, that is in Shimla. We take them to Chandigarh also, which is your National Agricultural Biotechnology Institute. We take them to other industries too. It is very important they interact with the outer world, with the industries, so that give them a lot of good exposure. So that is our outreach program for our students. And departmental news. So as we got these programs, so many newspapers of like English dailies and Hindi dailies, they actually cover the departmental news. So these are few of the departmental news. And I'm very happy to share with you. Let me tell you one more thing. This is the only university in the Himachal Pradesh, only private university. Is governor, honorable governor of Himachal Pradesh. So he's our chancellor, and we were very happy to have him on 21st of November 2019. He visited JUIT and he visited extensively all the departmental labs, and he had an interaction with our students, and he was very curious to know about the experiments which were going on in the biotech and bioinformatics lab. So we were very thankful to His Excellency that he visited our department, and it was actually a great confidence boosting for us. And this may be very useful information for the participants. Again, this is unique only to JUIT, that those who are serving in the army or even in the paramilitary forces, whether they are serving or whether they are ex-servicemen, we give 30% concession in the BTech tuition fee. This is to honor, to give, this is to honor the efforts of our troops, to our armed people. So this is for 30% concession. All the ex-servicemen as well as those who are in service, whether they are in the paramilitary forces, BSF, CRPF or army, and 35% concession is actually given to Veer Naris, that is war widows, or any person with disabilities. So this is a huge concession for the BTech program, 30 to 35%. So I thought I should share with you. And if you know any person who is there in the army or in the paramilitary forces, and they can actually have benefit out of this fee concession in the BTech program. And ultimately, you know, there is no end. And in the department, we would like to have more of research linkages with the industries, because this is something very important. Today, you know, all are looking towards the industries that they give us a vaccine to combat COVID-19. I would like to have, my faculty would like to have more and more industrial linkage with a joint R&D venture, so that we develop in a real sense, in the practical sense. And the stakeholder is faculty, students, and industry. And for that, I would also like to tell you, we are in an area which is ecologically very sensitive. We are in an area which is having a lot of biowealth. So we would like to have in the department, translating this biowealth to bioeconomy through the efforts of biotechnology and bioinformatics. So I'm very, very thankful to you that you joined this seminar, but this is not the end. If you have any question, you can ask us now. You can ask us later also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation, sir. You virtually covered everything, didn't let anything go off so that student may inquire. If any question would be there, we definitely would like to, sir, reach it to you. So it's an advisable that if you have any questions, you can ask now. And even if you don't want to ask now, please kindly send us through mail at our admission link or even at our personal links, which we have mentioned on the brochure. So thanks for all the participants for your patience and for your patient listening and your attentiveness. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence and wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you all the participants.